Hello everyone, it's Dennie Heye here once again for the SLA Europe podcast. Today I'm joined by a special guest. It's the winner of the best paper at the SLA conference this year, Melanie Browne. Melanie, welcome.
Hi, nice to be here.
Melanie, we haven't met in person, but we have met virtual, and everyone I think can agree that the paper you won was a really good one, because you talked about communicating value to strategic alignment, and you did this in your role at Maple Leaf. Can you tell a bit about what is Maple Leaf and what do you do there?
Okay, Maple Leaf Foods is a consumer foods packaged goods company. They're located in, the head office is located in Toronto, Ontario, Canada, and we're the largest food manufacturing company in Canada. We have different parts of the business. One side is protein, which is the meat side of the business. A bakery, we do prepared foods. That includes things like pastas and pasta sauces. And we also have frozen bakery, which is out of the United States. In the UK, we have something called the UK Bakery, so I also help them back in the UK. I came into my role at Maple Leaf Foods 3 years ago when I was brought here to create a library. So we have a physical space in a new center we built called the Innovation Center, which houses the library and our test kitchens and our marketplace. And so it's kind of a place where they come in to innovate and create new products, and I help in that process.
Okay, and what was the reason why you wrote the paper? Could you tell a bit about the background?
Several reasons. First of all, my existence is always being questioned as an information professional, whether being at Maple Leaf or in any other job I've ever had. And so you always have to say, why are we here? And what value do we produce for our company? And especially when you're in a company that sells something, where the number of sales can be counted and the dollars brought in can be counted, something like a library or an information resource is not something that brings direct, a visible value. What also happened in this process is I work very closely with marketing and sales, and marketing were being sent to a marketing executive leadership certificate program, and I asked to be sent to that as well, so I could understand the process that marketers were going through and what were the learnings they had, so I could understand my clients better. And through that process, I decided, why don't I take those concepts I learned in simple marketing theory and bring it across to the service industry, because the course is very focused on how do I market brands and products, and I wanted to say, well, how can I market the library and the information profession and then create this in a service kind of industry.
Yeah, and that really appealed to me, because one of the things that I've always been saying for many years that we should do more of marketing, that many people in our profession say, well, just try your best and be very service-oriented and they will come, but there's more to that. So can you talk a bit about, for example, the value propositions that you talk about in the paper? What is that, and why should people care about it?
Yeah, I think librarians have always been talking about value. And I mean, we know we provide value. We're always doing things and doing it very well. Finding information, teaching information literacy, managing content. We do all that, and we do it well. I think the part that we often miss is the recognition piece. So the formula I suggested was value times recognition equals influence. So in order for us to get any influence in our organizations, we need to get that recognition, because we already show we have values. And then the paper really discusses how different ways we can get recognition. And that was developing value propositions, which I discuss in my paper, are ways to show who we are and what we do. And it's kind of like little value statements, elevator speeches in the sense that I'm an information professional. These are my strengths, and this is the strength I can bring to the company, or I can bring to the service I provide. And so you're marketing yourself as an information professional. You're marketing your research center, and then you're differentiating yourself from things that could happen externally. So there's a lot of market research companies that want to come in and say, we can do the job of the library, you don't really need one. And I'm basically saying, why are we the one to choose versus an external agency as well?
I really like that approach, and I think there's a few lines in your paper that I kept underlining, saying that this is really important. For example, that you link your deliverables to your customers' most pressing problems. That really appealed to me, because then you're not just saying, well, we're a library and come to us for your information. You're telling people, you have a problem, let me help you with that. So when you put that into practice, what was the reaction at Maple Leaf Fruits?
I think they weren't used to having a library. We were brand new, and I think it's happening. We're seeing change. We're seeing people being interested in this one step at a time. I was supposed to come here, build a physical space, we called an information cafe, Sunday, the coffee, the books, and the beautiful physical space. And I wanted to show that we're much more than that. We can actually be there to drive innovation. And I'm seeing business units, come to me in the origins of their concerns, right? To say what are the general trends out there. So I'm being asked now. I'm noticing the kind of requests I get to be a lot more in-depth, a lot more strategic than before. Before it was, I need a book on such a topic. Now it's, how do I align with my customer in order to get better innovative menus, or how can I be ahead of the game in getting better products out to retail, looking at what the consumer wants or might need ahead of time. So that's the kind of thing. So I'm noticing by showing the kind of things we can provide, we're getting better sorts of responses and getting involved in more recognized projects.
Okay, so I think that's really good that you're being recognized as being a strategic enabler rather than a support overhead function. And there's a couple of things, for example, that you mentioned as value statement template. Can you tell our readers what that is?
The value statement, well, essentially the value statement is looking at what you do and how you do it and how you do it for a particular group of individuals. So that would be different based on what your strengths are. So if knowledge management is your strength, you'll match knowledge management to the needs of your particular customer. So my definition of the value statement is to create a positioning that you can say, tell your customers what the library can do for them, and also what the library's motivation is. So I'll give you an example of the template to make more sense. So I say, based on our experience in doing what generally, we have the ability to contribute what specifically, resulting in a type of business improvement for our customers. So an example in my area would be, based on our experience in information consultancy, we have the ability to connect users to internal experts or external experts, resulting in best practices and technology being applied in our product lines.
Yep.
So it's what I'm encouraging people to do is looking at what their key strengths are, and then looking at who they help, their clients, their customers, and what their real needs are, and then matching them up. Because most people don't really know what we do for them or what we can do for them, and this is just spelling out in 2 to 3 sentences how we can directly help them.
Yeah, and you put it in their process, in their context, rather than saying, well, this is us, this is the library, and you figure out what we can do for you. It's more like, we're going to help you achieve this, and then it's really clear to people, that they need you or they want to work with you. So, and then the other thing you mentioned, because the value statement template you say is qualitative, then you also have the value proposition, which is quantitative. How's that different?
The value proposition is the library needs to show what it does and for whom it does it, and for the customer to fully understand its goals. So I found the value proposition the best vehicle for doing this. So for example, the value proposition, the first part looks at what we do. So I will innately take who my target market is first, and that's different for every customer I have, whether it's sales or food services, supply chain or marketing or whoever it might be, and then define what their product is. Tell them, define what their problem is and how we can solve for their problem, what our product is, what the key benefits that we provide is, whether it's market research or food trending or forecasting, and how us doing that for them how things will be measured. So, for example, if we do great searches, that might increase sales, or if we successful negotiations, or increase usage of the library. So, how we can measure the deliverable. The next part of the proposition is why we will win. So, how are we different from our competitors? The first part is just basically saying who we are and what we provide. And the next part is saying, why should you buy us versus someone else? So it's kind of like looking at yourself more like a company that's selling something.
Yep.
We're the company. And why we differentiate ourselves from any other company out there. And our competitors could be other libraries, it could be consultants, market research companies, companies that provide customer services, things like that. And how our product, why our products differ and why we're protected. And that would be because we're internal. We know our company well, we know their needs, we can protect their information, we know the competitors, we also know our customers so that we can be that in-between link.
Okay, well, Melanie, I think we've given our listeners and other audience members a very good insight into the paper that you've written, and I think we can just mention that your paper not only won an award, it also put you more in the spotlights, because you shared before the recording that you're going to be profiled in the next Information Outlook, and that your paper also will be published in Information Outlook. So I can only recommend that if people out there are interested, please keep your eyes open on the SLA Information Outlook magazine, or go online to read Melanie's full paper. Melanie, I want to thank you for sharing your insights and experience, and who knows, we'll talk again.
Thank you very much.